There it is. So I'm out the front of our office in Capel Street, North Melbourne, and behind me, one of those buildings there, I think, is the Royal Melbourne Hospital, Royal Women's, and something else. So that's how close we are to the hospital precinct. Get run over by the postie. We love it when members just drop in unannounced and say g'day. So I just wanted to show that's how close we are to the hospitals when you drop off and do your write-up. If you have time and you want to drop in, come and say g'day. But I just want to do this quick video just to give a little bit of news. As you'll be aware, Steve McGee retired, Linda Rubin retired, and our industrial officer Amanda got a plum new job with the Australian Nurses Federation. Actually, that's her building right behind us there. That one, there, in the trees. That's where the NEPT is. So we've had a bit of a transition. There's been a lot of change in our office, and it's probably meant we've been a bit busy and a little bit behind probably in getting to some of your emails and some of your queries. But we're back on top of it now, hopefully. But thank you very much for bearing with us while we've gone through that transition. Other bit of news is we've moved, so we're still in the same building on 117 to 131 Capel Street, North Melbourne. Previously you would have come in on the ground floor here, but now we go upstairs and you come out on the first floor. So this is where our new office is. It's a bit bigger, bit roomier, still got all our code red paraphernalia from previous campaigns. David's still with us, which is good. So when I became General Secretary, Olga became the new Assistant Secretary. It created a vacancy for the work Olga was doing, which was being a organiser and industrial officer for the patient transport AMBOs, and also for Esther. So we've headhunted a really good new IO from upstairs. This guy behind me, his name's Matthew Coggan.
Hey, how are you guys?
So the reason we headhunted Matt is that he's doing his law degree, but he's got a lot of experience dealing with really difficult sites, and we wanted someone who would hit the ground running for our patient transport members, and we were really lucky to be able to grab him and bring him on board. So he's doing his law degree, and we're going to make sure that he does his articles, so he works for us as a fully fledged lawyer. So if you're in patient transport or at Esther, get used to seeing Matt around.
Looking forward to seeing all you guys too.
Alright, that's good. The other person, obviously, is Olga, who has just come into work. So Olga's become the first female on the executive of the AEA, the first assistant secretary of the AEA. But she's really become the new Brenda in that she's late to everything.
It's actually early this morning.
Yeah, but you're late.
And I baked a cake.
Oh, okay. Just like Brenda.
Oh.
So Matthew will be dealing primarily with patient transport AMBOs and with our Esther members, but Olga's going to be doing a lot of the NEPT stuff as well, because she's got a lot of experience in that. So we're actually going to be having at least 2 people at any one time working on patient transport issues for our patient transport members. The other person that you haven't met yet is our new industrial officer, Alessandra, who starts in about a fortnight. When Amanda moved on to the ANMF, we ran a fairly exhaustive process. We wanted to get a really good new lawyer to work in our section. We had some fantastic candidates put their hand up that we interviewed, but one really stood out, which we've given a job to, and she starts in 2 weeks. She's a fully qualified lawyer, and we can't wait for her to start, and she'll be handling a lot of our AV matters. So it's really exciting. In due course, we'll have 2 fully fledged lawyers working in our office, which would be great. We also have 2 other people working in our office at the moment. So 2 of our delegates who are working in here as member organisers. This is Michelle Blazer and Justin Mitchell. Justin's one of our delegates from Esther, who's currently heavily involved in the enterprise bargaining going on with Esther. And Michelle works for Royal Flying Doctors, and we're bargaining with them. These guys were hugely effective when we knocked off the recent non-union enterprise agreement that RFDS put out to the troops, weren't we?
Very good.
He's had to call pretty much every member that we had in the phone book. So they did a really good job, and this office was a flurry of activity a few weeks ago. So we bring in member organisers fairly regularly. They come into the union office and we pay them to work with us so that we've got delegates actually working in here with us. Also on the team who you haven't met yet, or some of you might have met or spoken to over the phone, this bloke's name's Adam.
Hello.
So Adam is our new Linda, and he runs our office, manages us and pushes us around. We headhunted Adam from upstairs because he's got quite a bit of experience working in the political field, also with media. So he brings a lot of new skills and experience onto our team. And we're really excited to have him. And so far his job is just managing my diary because I can't manage it. So that's the new office and that's the new team. The other news that we have is that soon we're going to start running clinical nights for our patient transport members. They've had massive change in their work due to all the grid changes that have happened. And the NEPT members are doing far more high acuity work than ever before. They've been asking their employers to get more training, and unfortunately it hasn't come. So we've decided we're actually going to try to run some for us, for our members in patient transport. So those of you on the NEPT Facebook page, you would have seen a post that went up asking what you would like to be trained in, if you could do some extra training. So we've captured all that and we're putting a bit of a program together. They'll probably start off once a month, maybe more, and we'll probably use some of our video conferencing for that as well. But that'll be free for all our patient transport members to help to sort of bridge the gap with a lot of the changes that have occurred, and I suppose the lack of support you've had with that. And it'll be our members who are running the training too. CSOs, paramedic educators will be volunteering their time, coming in and running that training for our members. So the last bit of news is that you're going to see us using a lot more YouTube videos coming out over the next couple of months. And we plan to do one quite soon about rest and recline and about how to deal with fatigue. So we're going to do a heap of videos that are just based on specific topics that members commonly come to us with queries about. We're not planning on targeting any particular employer, or probably won't even name any organisations. It's for the whole ambulance industry, for patient transport ambos, people working in comm centres, and of course our paramedics on road. But it's aimed at trying to give people who've been in the job, say, less than 5 years, who probably haven't really taken the time to learn about health and safety and industrial relations because they've been so focused on the job for such a long period of time. We're hoping that it's just a good way to get some of the younger people in the job up to speed on some of the things that probably some of the more senior people in the job know about, like how to access the reasonable overtime clauses in the enterprise agreement, how to deal with if you don't have access to a bed at a branch, how to get access to those things, what your rights are, what the responsibilities are of your employer, and how to avoid having any sort of conflict occur off the back of that.
What's up, bro? What, bro? Sup, bro? Take a swing, bro. Right here, bro.
And it won't be anything controversial. It's just a way of getting some new content out to you that hopefully is informative, maybe even a bit entertaining, but hopefully sort of gives you some insight into some of the queries that we have to deal with regularly here at the union. That's it. Again, thank you for being supportive and patient during our transition. We're full steam ahead from now. And hopefully you'll drop in and see us. We only have a crappy Aldi coffee pod machine. We don't have a good coffee machine. Best coffee in North Melbourne is around the corner, Dom Camillo's on Victoria Street. Our mate Sam Greco runs it. Really good coffee. But if you feel like dropping in for an Aldi coffee and just catching up and having a chat about your day, you're always welcome. So that's it. Take care and hopefully catch up soon.